Does wealth guarantee happiness? And does poverty equal ultimate suffering? Over 2,000 years ago, the Roman philosopher Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." In other words, the person who has little is not poor. The truly poor are those who are never satisfied. Today, yes, America, a place where billion-dollar corporations thrive while ordinary people struggle under mountains of credit card debt, makes this quote more relevant than ever. In this discussion, we'll explore the philosophy of wealth, poverty, and the Stoic mindset. We'll analyze Seneca's life, the historical context of his philosophy, and how his teachings can help modern society live calmer, stronger, and more meaningful lives. We'll also examine how these principles have played out in American history and influenced some of the world's most notable figures. Please subscribe and stay with us. Stoicism began around 300 BCE in Greece, founded by Zeno of Citium. He taught that human happiness does not depend on external things, but on our mindset and reactions. At its core, Stoicism teaches how to maintain peace and resilience in the face of life's pain, temptations, and uncertainties. During the Roman Empire, Stoicism gained widespread popularity. Three great philosophers took Stoic thought to new heights: Seneca, the younger, Epictetus, Marcus. Aurelius Seneca is our focus because he not only philosophized but also applied Stoic principles in politics and power. Born in 4 BCE in Cordoba, modern-day Cordoba, Spain, Seneca grew up in a highly unequal Roman society. The wealthy elite indulged in excessive luxury, while the poor were trapped in war, taxes, and slavery. Political power was concentrated in the hands of a few. There are striking similarities to today's America. The top 1% of Americans now control about a third of the nation's wealth, while millions struggle to pay their bills. Just as in ancient Rome, wealth disparity continues. Seneca offered a crucial lesson amidst inequality. Wealth is the slave of a wise man and the master of a fool. Wealth itself is not bad, but when it controls us, it becomes a problem. In today's American society, this lesson is clear. People chase luxury brands, new cars, big houses, and the latest tech gadgets. Credit card debt rises, and many suffer under economic pressure. Happiness is lost when money starts controlling people. Stoicism teaches the opposite. The Stoic mindset shows us how to remain calm in the face of temptation. Seneca's famous warning against consumerism remains relevant. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor. Those who constantly crave can never be truly happy. Modern American consumerism is a form of subtle slavery. Advertising reminds us we are not enough, we need more. Social media comparison and envy fuel this desire further. Stoicism shows a way out. Gratitude for what we have and control over unnecessary desires. This practice is essential not only for personal peace, but for social improvement. When individual desires decrease, wealth inequality can also lessen, enabling fairer distribution. Seneca's life is a living example of Stoic philosophy. He didn't just teach theory, he demonstrated it through his own life. Born in 4 BCE in Cordoba, he moved to Rome at a young age for advanced studies in philosophy, rhetoric, and politics. From childhood, he suffered from poor health and battled various illnesses. These physical hardships drew him deeply to Stoicism, which teaches endurance through pain, acceptance of life's uncertainty, and mental resilience. Seneca was also an influential politician, serving as a tutor and advisor to Emperor Nero. Initially, Nero heeded Seneca's counsel, helping maintain relative peace in Rome. Over time, however, Nero abused power and became increasingly tyrannical. Seneca maintained a Stoic mindset, gradually withdrawing from political life, understanding that external power is temporary. A core Stoic teaching he followed was, "He who is brave is free." True courage means mastering one's fears, desires, and anger. Seneca believed that controlling the inner world ensures peace, regardless of external circumstances. One of the most famous events of his life was his death. Nero ordered Seneca to commit suicide. Seneca accepted it calmly in front of his students and family, embodying Stoicism even in the face of death. Stoic teachings remain deeply relevant in modern America. During the 2008 financial crisis, millions lost jobs, homes, and security. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control and accept what is not. Seneca also noted, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This is particularly relevant today. Many Americans worry so much about the future that they miss the present. Stoicism teaches freedom from imagined fears and attention to the present reality. Seneca's message on wealth was profound. Though rich himself, he understood that money is not the key to happiness. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Many Americans buy bigger houses, expensive cars, and luxury items to appear successful. Yet this endless desire destroys peace and accumulates debt. Credit card debt exemplifies the opposite of a Stoic mindset. Daily self-reflection was crucial to Stoicism. Seneca reviewed his day, noting mistakes, areas for improvement, and things to be grateful for. Modern psychology confirms that gratitude and reflection improve mental health and reduce anxiety. Stoicism also applies to social and political life. Even amid injustice, one must uphold moral values. Martin Luther King Jr.'s nonviolent civil rights movement mirrored Stoic principles. Control your reactions, act with integrity, and influence society through calm strength. If Americans today adopt a Stoic mindset, focusing on internal stability and ethics rather than external desires, personal and societal peace can increase, and inequality may decrease. Although Stoicism originated in ancient Greece and Rome, its teachings remain highly relevant in modern American society. Stoic philosophy influenced many of America's founders and leaders, particularly regarding freedom, justice, and mental resilience. During the American Revolution, many founding fathers were familiar with Stoicism. Thomas Jefferson, who drafted the Declaration of Independence, studied works by Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. The Stoic belief that true freedom comes from self-control influenced Jefferson's political philosophy. A key Stoic teaching is, external things are not in our control, only our own actions are. Revolutionaries could not control British oppression, but could control their responses and decisions, ultimately achieving independence. George Washington exemplifies Stoicism in action. As commander of the Continental Army, he faced immense pressure and crisis. At Valley Forge, despite hunger and cold, he remained calm and steadfast. Washington drew inspiration from Marcus Aurelius's meditations, learning to control emotions for the greater good. Abraham Lincoln also demonstrated Stoic principles. During the Civil War, he maintained moral clarity under extreme stress, saying, "I am not bound to win, but I am bound to be true." Outcomes are beyond our control, but integrity is not, aligning perfectly with Stoic thought. During the Civil Rights Movement, Martin Luther King Jr. applied Stoicism, understanding he could not control others' actions but could control his response, creating moral power that drove social change. Stoicism also influenced American culture and business. Steve Jobs admired Marcus Aurelius's meditations, often citing the clarity that comes from remembering mortality, memento mori, remember you will die. This philosophy helped him focus on what truly mattered, ignoring distractions. Many American soldiers and veterans read Stoic texts to maintain mental resilience in combat. One Marine officer credited meditations with helping him stay calm under fire. Stoicism aligns with the American dream, emphasizing effort and personal responsibility. While results are not guaranteed, ethical and persistent effort leads to meaningful, peaceful lives. In today's fast-paced, high-pressure America, Stoic philosophy can help people build mental strength. Entrepreneurs, leaders, and everyday Americans can learn from Seneca. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Stoicism's historical and modern impact on American politics, society, and culture is profound. Though born in ancient Rome, its lessons remain timeless and effective today. Today's American society is navigating a complex period. Economic inequality, political instability, mental health crises, and excessive consumerism are causing many people to lose mental peace. Stoic philosophy can provide guidance through these challenges. Applying the teachings of Seneca and other Stoic philosophers in modern society can bring significant change on both personal and social levels. First, let's talk about economic inequality and consumerism. In today's America, the top 1% control roughly 32% of the nation's wealth, while ordinary people live paycheck to paycheck. Luxury brands, large houses, expensive cars, and the latest technology trap Americans in a cycle of debt. Credit card debt breaks records year after year. Seneca foresaw this problem over 2,000 years ago. He said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." True poverty lies in unbridled desire. Stoicism teaches us to control our desires and be grateful for what we have. This brings not only personal peace, but also helps reduce societal inequality. When people free themselves from unnecessary luxury, wealth can be more fairly distributed. Modern American consumerism has become a race where everyone wants to outdo each other. Social media amplifies this tendency. On Instagram or TikTok, people envy others' luxurious lifestyles and try to match them. This is a form of mental slavery. Stoicism offers a path to freedom from this bondage. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." True freedom comes when we stop giving importance to things beyond our control. Second, the mental health crisis is a serious problem in today's America. According to 2024 statistics, 1 in 5 Americans faces a mental health challenge. Anxiety, depression, and loneliness are steadily rising. Stoic philosophy can help build mental resilience. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This is extremely relevant today. Many people worry so much about the future that they forget to enjoy the present. For example, someone may live in fear of losing a job they still hold. This fear exists only in imagination, but causes more suffering than reality. Stoicism teaches that we should focus on the present moment and accept what is beyond our control. This approach can help reduce anxiety and restore mental peace for Americans. Third, political instability. Political polarization in America is growing. Misinformation, hatred, and confusion spread through social media. Stoic philosophy provides guidance even in this situation. Stoicism teaches that we cannot control the behavior of others, but we can control our own reactions. Seneca said, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." Uncontrolled anger can harm us more than the event that caused it. If Americans adopt a Stoic perspective in today's politics, they can remain calm despite disagreements, creating opportunities for constructive discussion and reducing social division. Fourth, personal failure and frustration. Competition in America is intense. Education, jobs, business. People face constant pressure. Failure often undermines confidence. Stoicism teaches us to see failure as a form of training. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Just as exercise strengthens the body, challenges strengthen the mind. For example, if an American entrepreneur fails in business, a Stoic mindset can teach them to accept failure and start anew. This connects deeply to the American dream, which holds that anyone can progress through effort and perseverance. Stoicism provides the mental foundation for that effort. Another key aspect of Stoicism is the practice of gratitude. Seneca reflected on what he was grateful for at the end of each day. In modern times, this practice is scientifically proven to improve mental health. Research by the American Psychological Association shows that regular gratitude reduces anxiety and depression. In conclusion, Stoic philosophy can address many modern American societal problems. From economic inequality to mental health crises, Stoicism teaches us to control our mind and remain calm amidst external instability. If Americans apply Stoic principles in daily life, both personal and social well-being can improve. Stoicism does more than build personal mental strength. It provides a strong ethical framework. Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius aim to teach a way of life that benefits both the individual and society. In the context of today's American familial and cultural crises, Stoic ethical teachings are especially valuable. Core foundations of Stoic ethics, the E. 3 pillars of Stoic ethical education are: virtue as the highest good. Stoicism teaches that true happiness or eudaimonia comes through virtue. Seneca said, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. If life's goal is unclear, any external success is meaningless." Stoicism emphasizes achieving moral virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control. Indifference to external wealth. Stoics believed wealth, fame, or power are neither good nor bad in themselves. They are tools, and their value depends on how they are used. Seneca said, "Wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool. The wise control wealth. The foolish are controlled by it." Living in harmony with nature, Stoicism teaches living according to natural laws and human social responsibilities. It frees individuals from selfishness and encourages action for the greater good of society. Stoicism's impact on family life. American family structures face challenges today: divorce, single-parent households, and generational disconnect. Stoicism can restore stability to families. A. Parenting and Stoicism. Modern American parents often push children into competitive, consumer-driven lifestyles. Stoicism teaches that children's education should focus on virtue and self-control. Seneca advised his students, "We are always complaining that our days are few and acting as though there would be no end of them. Time is precious and should be used wisely." Parents who instill this value in children help them escape cycles of consumerist competition. B. Marriage and Stoicism. Stoic self-control and emotional regulation reduce conflicts in marriage. Misunderstandings and quarrels are common in modern American marriages. Stoicism teaches that we cannot control others, only our own responses, promoting peace in relationships. Stoicism in American cultural life. American culture is heavily influenced by consumerism and the pursuit of fame. Hollywood, social media, and advertising create often unrealistic standards. Stoicism offers an alternative perspective. A. Fame and influence from a Stoic view. Young Americans often measure their worth by social media likes and followers. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." True improvement requires ignoring others' opinions. Stoicism teaches that fame or popularity is not under our control. Focus should remain on virtue and action. B. Stoicism as an alternative to consumer culture. American consumerism encourages limitless desire. Seneca repeatedly stated that very little is needed for happiness. He said, "He who is contented is rich. Those satisfied with what they have are truly wealthy." This principle can help Americans escape the relentless race of consumption. The need for Stoic ethics in global leadership. America is a key power in global politics. Stoic ethical teachings can make leadership more balanced and just. A Stoic leader exercises power based on morality and social responsibility. George Washington and Abraham Lincoln exemplified Stoic mindset, prioritizing national welfare above personal interest. Modern leaders can also learn from this. Seneca said, "No man was ever wise by chance. Wisdom and virtue require conscious effort." If American leaders follow Stoic principles, global peace and justice become achievable. Modern examples: Stoicism and American entrepreneurial culture. Stoicism already influences American entrepreneurship. Many successful entrepreneurs read Stoic texts and apply their teachings in business. For example, Tim Ferriss, author of The 4-Hour Workweek, is a major supporter of Stoicism. He starts his day by writing Stoic notes, saying the practice helps him maintain mental composure and courage in business risks. Steve Jobs also applied Stoic principles in life and business. He made decisions with mortality in mind, a modern example of memento mori. Practicing Stoicism in American families Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it is a daily practice. American families can incorporate Stoic principles in the following ways: writing a daily gratitude list, discussing Stoic quotes with family members, teaching children which things are within their control and which are not, setting designated tech-free times to reduce the influence of social media. These practices help foster mental stability and unity within the family. The ethical teachings of Stoicism can introduce a new chapter in American family and cultural life. They can free people from consumerism and the unrest of constant competition, guiding them toward peace and genuine happiness. Although Stoicism is an ancient philosophy, its influence is deeply present in today's American economy, politics, and the nation's role as a global power. The teachings of Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus continue to shape corporate leaders, political strategists, and ordinary people alike. In this section, we'll explore three key areas of Stoicism: business, politics, and America's global leadership. Stoicism and modern American business. The American business world thrives on competition, innovation, and risk. Yet it also comes with pressure, anxiety, and fear of failure. Stoic philosophy gives business leaders a mental framework that fosters resilience, calm, and a long-term perspective. A. Business risk and the Stoic mindset. Seneca said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." In other words, fortune is the result of preparation meeting opportunity. American entrepreneurs often hesitate to start something new due to fear of failure. Stoicism teaches that failure is never final. Failure is a lesson that prepares you for future success. This mindset is reflected deeply in Silicon Valley's startup culture. Many entrepreneurs turn to Stoic texts, like Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, as a guide for business strategy. Example: Elon Musk faced repeated failures. The first 3 SpaceX launches failed. Yet, adopting a Stoic perspective, he focused on his actions and what was within his control, rather than the external outcome. This focus helped him persevere, and today, SpaceX is at the forefront of space exploration. B. Stoic leadership in corporations. Stoicism teaches corporate leaders to reduce ego and lead with humility. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, even at the peak of his power, that he was only human. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Many CEOs in modern America follow this mindset. For instance, Apple CEO Tim Cook emphasizes Stoic principles, teaching employees to make decisions based on ethics and long-term benefit, not just profit. Stoicism and modern American politics. Stoicism is not only for personal growth, it can also guide political leadership. Many leaders in American history have drawn inspiration from Stoic thought. In today's age of political division, Stoic philosophy is more relevant than ever. A. Principles of Stoic leadership. Stoicism teaches political leaders to prioritize justice, focus on the public good rather than personal gain, emotional control, respond to opponents calmly and rationally, long-term vision, prioritize lasting national progress over short-term popularity. Seneca wrote, "No man was ever wise by chance. A wise leader must consciously practice ethics and virtue." B. Stoicism in American political history. Abraham Lincoln exemplified Stoic principles. During the Civil War, he remained calm and steadfast under immense pressure and criticism. He understood that external events were beyond his control. Only his response was within it. Today's political climate is deeply divided. Stoicism can help bridge this divide by teaching that we cannot control others, only our own reactions. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Stoicism and global influence. America is not just a country, it is one of the world's most influential powers. Its foreign policy, economic decisions, and cultural reach affect the entire globe. If Stoic principles guide America's global actions, justice and peace could be established worldwide. A. Stoic view on war and peace. Stoicism teaches that war should be a last resort. Seneca said, "War is not so much a matter of arms as of money. Often, conflict arises from economic greed. If America followed Stoic principles, it could reduce conflict and focus on diplomatic solutions. For example, using ethical diplomacy to establish peace in the Middle East, rather than direct intervention. B. Global responsibility and Stoic duty. Stoicism views the world as one family. Marcus Aurelius said, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." If humanity suffers, no individual or nation can truly thrive. By adopting Stoic principles, America could play a more active role in combating global poverty, climate change, and human rights crises, not just for morality, but also for its own stability. C. Modern examples of Stoic leadership. Barack Obama often expressed Stoic principles in his speeches, emphasizing hope and self-control. John McCain, a former senator and prisoner of war, drew strength from Epictetus's teachings during captivity. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett have applied Stoic lessons of gratitude and responsibility in their philanthropic work. Stoicism and America's future. Stoic philosophy can play a crucial role in shaping America's future. Today, America leads in technology, but faces major challenges: mental health crises, political division, and global conflict. If Americans embrace Stoicism personally and nationally, a moral, peaceful, and sustainable future is possible. Seneca's words are especially relevant. Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Treat every day as a distinct life and live it ethically. This applies not just to individuals, but to an entire nation. Stoicism began in ancient Greece and Rome, yet its teachings remain relevant today. The lessons of Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus continue to support personal growth, social justice, and global peace. 1. Stoicism's impact on modern society. Today's world is complex. Technology, economy, and politics intersect at unprecedented levels. America sits at the center of these changes. Stoicism can influence modern society in three main ways. A. Mental health and personal peace. America faces a mental health crisis. Millions struggle with anxiety, depression, and loneliness. Stoicism teaches control over thoughts and emotions. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." In today's age of social media and news, imagined fears increase anxiety. Practices like journaling, meditation, and mindfulness reduce this stress. B. Reducing social inequality. The wealthy grow wealthier, the poor poorer. Stoicism teaches that true happiness comes from limiting desires and living ethically. By rejecting unnecessary consumerism, resources can be distributed more fairly. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor." C. Increasing global responsibility. Stoicism sees humanity as one family. Global challenges, climate change, war, poverty, can be addressed with Stoic principles. Marcus Aurelius said, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." America, guided by Stoicism, could lead in global peace and stability. 2. Practicing Stoicism. Personally, Stoicism is not just philosophy, it is a daily practice. Steps for Americans include journaling. Record thoughts and emotions daily, like Marcus Aurelius. Circle of control. List what is within your control. Actions, responses, ethics, versus what is not. Opinions, weather, economy. Focus only on what you can control. Memento mori. Reflect on mortality to reduce conflict and excessive desire. Ask daily, if today were my last, what would I do? Gratitude. Write 3 things you're grateful for each night. This significantly reduces stress and anxiety. 3. Family and social applications. Family Stoic lessons. Teach children what they can and cannot control. Encourage gratitude and patience. Limit technology use to create time for Stoic discussions. Responsible social media use. Use social media for communication, not self-worth. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." 4. Corporate and business applications. Prioritize ethical decisions over short-term profit. Treat failures as lessons. Lead employees based on Stoic principles, as George Washington did militarily. Example: Patagonia follows a responsible business model aligned with Stoic ethics. 5. Political and global applications. Apply Stoicism in political debates. Focus on principles, not personal attacks. Prioritize facts and reason over emotion. Collaborate globally to solve shared challenges. America can lead the world on climate change, poverty, and war by adopting Stoic principles. 6. Teaching Stoicism to future generations. Introduce Stoicism in schools and universities. Teach students mental resilience and ethics. Require daily Stoic journaling for students. This cultivates responsible future leaders and citizens. 7. Conclusion: the universal power of Stoicism. Stoicism is more than an ancient philosophy. It offers solutions to modern American challenges. From personal peace to family unity, political stability, and global responsibility, Stoic teachings are actionable and relevant. Seneca's final words: "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. See each day as a new life and live ethically." If America and the world embrace Stoicism, we can build a society rooted in justice, peace, and genuine happiness.